There are 3 levels of strategy: business strategy, corporate strategy, and functional strategy. Business strategy focuses on improving the competitive position of the company within the industry it operates in. Business strategy can be competitive or cooperative. Michael Porter has proposed 2 generic competitive strategies: lower cost or differentiation. In other words, companies can compete by offering lower prices, or they can compete by offering differentiated products that set them apart from the competition. Before deciding on the competitive strategy, the company needs to decide whether it wants to serve the broad market or specialize in a smaller niche or area of the market. Based on the choice, 4 different generic strategies are then available, and these are cost leadership or differentiation, and these are targeting the mass market, or cost focus or differentiation focus, and these are targeting a niche market. Independent retailers and small businesses have a better chance by focusing on a narrow-based strategy, by targeting a specific niche. Otherwise, for large companies with high resources, research has shown that pursuing a broad-based strategy generates higher return on assets. Let's get into more details for each strategy. In cost leadership, the company has a fierce focus on delivering the lowest price in the market to its customers. And this is what will bring it customers in the first place and keep them with the company as long as it keeps offering the low prices. To achieve this, the company applies this strategy across its entire value chain. It makes sure to secure the product at the lowest price in the market from suppliers, and this could be through economies of scale by buying in bulk. It also applies the same in its operations, by saving costs at every turn and operating as efficiently as possible. This way, it's able to offer the product at a lower price than the competition and still generates profits because its costs are low. Walmart and McDonald's are good examples for companies using this strategy. In the differentiation strategy, the company offers a product that's unique, and this allows it to charge premium prices and still have customers come to buy because of the uniqueness of the product. This gives the company a better return in terms of profit margins because customers tend to be loyal and less sensitive to price. It also gives the company a pricing power. Apple and Nike are good examples for companies using this strategy. Research suggests that differentiation strategy is more likely to generate higher profit margins than low-cost strategy, due to barriers to entry created by differentiation. Cost focus is a low-cost strategy that focuses on a specific group of buyers. This could be based on geography or based on specific uses of the products. The company here is able to offer lower prices due to savings in marketing and advertising, achieved from targeting a narrower market segment. In differentiation-focused strategy, the company also targets a small group of buyers but offers a unique product. It doesn't offer the product at the lowest cost, but because it specializes in this niche, it's able to serve the customers of this niche better by developing better products and wider assortments than broader companies. Most specialty retailers fall under this category. Although in general, there is room for only one company to pursue the cost leadership strategy, because it depends on achieving the highest market share, there is unlimited possibilities for focus and differentiation strategies. For example, a differentiation that's based on quality alone can generate a large number of businesses because quality has many dimensions, such as durability, reliability, performance, features, serviceability, or aesthetics. As we mentioned, small businesses and independent retailers are better off focusing on a focused strategy, and they can then differentiate their offering based on quality or service and gain market share and loyalty from that. This is because some small niches in the market are too narrow for big companies to go after, and this represents a great opportunity for entrepreneurial ventures. The following small business is a great example. Alpha Forward is an apparel company that has followed a very smart differentiation-focused strategy. By finding a need by a small group of people and developing products that satisfy this need and differentiating those products through quality and nice product design. According to the company, it all started because fashion stores have men's section and women's section. However, there is a big group of females who like to dress like men, and those women have no other option but to go to the men's section at fashion stores such as Zara or H&M and try to find something that fits them. However, women have different body shapes than men, and while they can easily find the styles they want in the men's section, they cannot really find the right fit for their body shape. Being one of those women and knowing the struggle herself, the founder decided to create products exactly filling this need, and so Alpha Forward was created in 2017. This is a great strategy for a small retail business because it allows the company to avoid competition from big industry players who consider such niches to be too small for them to invest in. It also allowed this company to grow through word of mouth and spending very little on paid advertising, because this group of consumers started sharing what they found with each other. A tactic is a specific operating plan of where and when a strategy is to be implemented. When it comes to competitive strategies, some of the tactics to be implemented are timing tactics, such as whether the company should be a first mover or a late mover in creating and selling certain products. There are advantages to both timing tactics. For example, a first mover can establish itself as an industry leader, set the standards for upcoming players, and gets to benefit from high profit margins until other players enter the market and enjoys a high market share for all this time. On the other hand, late movers can benefit from imitating technologies from the first mover and thereby save on R&D, and also minimize risks as the first mover has already proven the concept. The other types of tactics for competitive strategies are market location tactics, and these could be either offensive tactics or defensive tactics. Offensive tactics are used to attack the competitor, and they include frontal assault. This is a very expensive tactic because it involves going head-to-head with the competitor and matching them in everything from pricing, products, distribution, and promotions. It requires a lot of resources and perseverance to stand for a long time and might eventually reduce margins for all players. Flanking maneuver. This tactic avoids going head-to-head with the competition and rather competing in a smaller segment where the competitor is weak. Bypass attack. Rather than attacking the competitor frontally or at the flanks, this tactic aims to change the game completely by creating solutions or products that disrupt the industry and takes the market from under the competition by making their products obsolete. Encirclement. This tactic evolves out of a frontal assault or flanking maneuver and involves encircling the competitor by offering more product variety, covering all options from high to low prices, and serving more markets. Guerrilla warfare. This is more of a hit-and-run approach and is usually used by small companies in order to avoid retaliation by big competitors. In this tactic, the player performs small intermittent assaults on small segments of the market, and thereby making small gains without seriously threatening the big competitor and evoking retaliation. Defensive tactics are used to prevent or lessen the intensity of attacks from the competition. They don't increase the competitive advantage of the company, but rather make it more sustainable and make it costly for competition to attack. Such tactics, by design, reduce the profitability of the company on the short run in favor of long-term profitability. Defense tactics include raising structural barriers. Such entry barriers make it unattractive for possible competitors to enter the market, and these include offering a full line of products, even the ones that are not much profitable. Coca-Cola uses this strategy to keep competitors off the shelves of the stores. blocking channel access, for example, by signing exclusivity agreements with the distributors. Avoid suppliers that serve the competition. Raising buyer switching costs. Using economies of scale to reduce product costs. Patenting and licensing. Increasing expected retaliation. This tactic depends on increasing the perceived threat of retaliation, so the competitors are scared to start an attack. For example, a company may defend its position by drastically cutting prices in the face of an attempt by a new entrant to gain market share. Lowering the inducement for an attack. This defensive tactic makes it unattractive for a competitor to enter the market, for example, by deliberately keeping prices low all the time, and so any new entrant will be turned off by low profit margins of the industry. The other types of tactics are cooperative tactics, and these include collusion and strategic alliances. In these two tactics, the company cooperates with other players in the market to gain competitive advantage. For example, when an industry is dominated by a few players, they can collude to raise prices by deliberately reducing supply in the market. Explicit collusion is illegal in most countries, and that's why, when it happens, it usually happens indirectly through informal signals between the companies. Even such tacit collusion can be illegal and fought by governments. Through strategic alliances, companies can cooperate together for many reasons, such as obtaining new capabilities, accessing new markets, and reducing financial or political risks. Such alliances can come in the form of joint ventures, consortium, licensing agreement, value chain partnership. For example, recently with the rise of e-commerce, last-mile delivery has become part of the retail value chain. Many companies have started laying down infrastructure for last-mile delivery through partnering with other companies that could benefit from the same infrastructure. The next level of strategy is corporate strategy. A corporate strategy is more about the direction of the company as a whole and managing its business or product portfolio. There are three areas under corporate strategy. Directional strategy. This is the company's orientation towards growth, stability, or retrenchment. Portfolio analysis. This deals with the portfolio of the products or business units inside the company and the coordination of cash flow among those units. Parenting strategy. This deals with how the management directs resources to different product lines or business units within the corporation. Just as the company had to choose a business strategy to improve its competitiveness in the market, it also needs to choose a directional strategy when it comes to growth. There are three directional strategies: growth strategies, stability strategies, and retrenchment strategies. There are two basic growth strategies, and these are concentration, which focuses on the current product line, diversification, by branching into other product lines or industries. Growing companies in growing industries tend to focus first on concentration strategy before considering diversification. This is because there is still growth potential in the existing business line, and it's better to concentrate available resources to take advantage of such growth. When going for a concentration strategy, there are vertical growth and horizontal growth. In vertical growth, the company starts exploring other activities on the value chain and taking over a function that was previously provided by a supplier or distributor. When this happens with an activity that precedes the activity of the company on the value chain, this is called backward integration. For example, if a retailer starts manufacturing their own products in their own factories, this is backward integration. When this happens with an activity that follows the activity of the company, this is called forward integration. For example, when a designer starts opening their own retail stores and selling directly to consumers instead of selling wholesale to retailers, this is forward integration. The following case study shows an example of a vertical growth strategy. In 2017, Nike was struggling. Its stock was down over the past 2 years because of losing market share to the competition, with a lot of pressure coming from rising Under Armour and Adidas, especially with the rising of the athleisure trend and brands creating partnerships with celebrities. For the first time in a decade, Nike did not claim the top position in US sneaker sales, and that position went to Adidas. Another factor was the tough retail environment in general that had key sporting goods retailers such as Sports Authority and Gander Mountain filing for bankruptcy. This was particularly a red flag for Nike because at this point the majority of its sales were coming from wholesale distribution. Nike was facing another challenge, that the majority of the rest of the resellers, which at this point were around 30,000, were not delivering on Nike's expectations of how its products should be positioned and sold at store level. It was a time for a new strategy for Nike. When we look at Nike, we find that its main core competency is marketing. The company is very good at identifying and creating the right products for its target consumers, and it excels at delivering the message about those products to those consumers. Looking at its value chain and main business model, we find that Nike designs its products in-house, then contracts manufacturers to produce those products, and then markets those products to consumers, and mainly acts as a wholesaler and sells its products through retail partners. It did have some branded stores, but wholesale contributed more than 80% of its revenue. So Nike, from a value chain standpoint, was a wholesaler. In 2017, Nike announced its triple-double strategy, which promised 2x innovation, 2x speed, and 2x direct sales. Focusing on selling directly to consumers, Nike followed a consumer direct offense strategy, which is a sort of a forward integration where Nike moves from the role of a wholesaler on the value chain to the role of a retailer selling directly to consumers. In addition to selling through its own website, the company identified 12 major cities in 10 key countries to launch more stores in, and those cities were characterized by being key tourist cities and fashion hubs, such as New York, Paris, London, Milan, and Los Angeles. Such stores will be able to create buzz around the brand through the unique store experience, and the fact that they are located in major tourist-heavy areas will accelerate the spreading of the marketing message of Nike. When it comes to the wholesale business at Nike, it decided to pull away from the majority of resellers and maintain a few partners that it identified as differentiated retailers, such as Nordstrom and Foot Locker. Those partners were willing to dedicate more floor space for Nike products and stick to Nike's directive and brand guidelines when it comes to display and selling. The new strategy allows Nike to control the customer experience and brand positioning throughout the selling process, utilize feedback and data collected from the direct sales operation back into the design and launching of new products. The company at this time acquired Select, a data analytics startup founded by 2 MIT professors, to help it utilize the data it now collects directly from sales in order to make better inventory and product decisions. For retail partners, Nike also required that they share data with it. The strategy also allowed Nike to get products faster from design to production to consumers. As a result, the company's stock price has gone from $59 in August 2016 to $116 in August 2022. This has been driven by an increase in sales from $32.4 billion in 2016 to $46.7 billion in 2022, and a growth in net income from $3.7 billion in 2016 to $6 billion in 2022. As of 2022, direct-to-consumer sales of Nike have grown to contribute 42%, up from 24% in 2016 and 18% in 2014. This shows that Nike's triple-double strategy has actually paid off, and the company is slowly shifting from being a product designer and wholesaler to being a full-fledged retailer.